Hey, Coach. Just trying to get a update on Torrey, and he was probable. Is he available for you tonight?
Yeah, he'll play.
Okay.
He had a good workout yesterday. He's got some soreness, but everybody does. So we think he'll be okay.
Follow. You said you was going to take him through some light stuff to see what he would do. When he went down, I was thinking the worst. I mean, when you see that kind of recovery, or were you thinking the worst as well when he initially went down?
Well, I think it depends on your player. Like I've seen him enough in Denver and here to know like he's a tough dude. So I was, hoping he wasn't seriously hurt. And then when I saw him move around a little bit, I just, you know, got a bit more confidence. I just didn't want to use a timeout. And when I realized he was going to be down for a little bit, that's when I called it and wanted to get over there and check on him. He's not the kind of guy that lays on the ground. So you start to think about, is this going to be one of those deals? Gratefully, it was just a hard contusion, and it swelled up a bit, but they've been treating it every day, and he's got some soreness, but he looked good yesterday when he was shooting the ball and moving around.
Dave, next question.
Monty, do you ever look at the referee assignments going into a game, and if so, how do they impact how you approach the game?
I look at them, but it doesn't impact me at all. I just don't get into that stuff. I think the referees, the officials that are especially reffing on this level, they're the best of the best. And I always think the guys that are on this stage are the ones that you can communicate with. And that's what I look forward for in an official, is ones that I can talk to while the game is going on in a timeout situation. And the guys that are on this level, that's, to me, that's the sign of a high level official, the ones that can communicate in pressure situations, talk you off a cliff, listen to your complaining and kind of weed through what you're trying to say and give you an answer that's, makes sense. So that's about as far as it goes for me.
Mark, over here on the left.
Hey, Monty, during this season, the playoff run, have you gotten a chance to touch base with any of the guys on the 93 finals team? And if so, what kind of came out of those?
The 93 finals?
Suns team.
Oh, gosh. No, I haven't. I think they got more important things to do than talk to me on the phone. I have gotten text messages from different people from Suns lore, history, and that's been pretty cool because I'm new to it. You know what I mean? And they've adopted me like I've been in it for a long time, but it's really not even 2 years yet. So the way that they've embraced me has been pretty cool. I got a text from Steve the other day, and I thought that was really cool for him. He's coaching Brooklyn, but it just spoke to me about how those guys feel about the Suns, the fan base, the former players. It's a pretty cool family to be a part of.
Jim, we're over here in the second row.
Hi, Monty. Now you've seen 4 games of the Bucks and more up close, clearly here. What when you see Chris and Giannis kind of getting their 2-man game, do you see the 8 years together?
See, looks like more than that.
Okay, so yes, and then I guess what does that look like? What does that kind of mean? And maybe to a degree, how is it maybe difficult to defend in that way?
Yeah, I feel like those two guys have a certain level of synergy, not just in that part of their game, but how they play off of each other in isolation basketball. Giannis seems to know where Chris is going to be in transition, or if you try to help off of him. But in that pick and roll, it's a tough cover. I mean, nobody's been able to stop it. And I think the thing that doesn't get enough play is Chris's ability to handle the ball for his size. People don't really talk about him being a pick and roll player, but he's pretty efficient. when he has the ball in that environment. He gave us a problem in game one for sure, and we've been talking about it ever since.
Gina in the back.
Hey, Monty. Just now coming off of game 1 and 2, just what are the biggest things you'd like to see improve in game 3 or clean up? Like, just what were the points of emphasis to your guys coming into this game?
I mean, they had 18 offensive rebounds last game. I think 54 points in the paint. You know, we talked about it. That was a huge focus for them, was to get to the paint. And we certainly have to keep Giannis off the free throw line. It gives them a chance to set their defense. And so, you know, we'd be here for a while talking about everything we saw in the film, but those are the main keys. And you have to keep those guys off the glass. I mean, Connaughton he's coming every single time. PJ is a big, strong dude. And, you know, he finds a way, and our guys know we have to do our best to keep those guys away from the paint.
Brian on the right.
Hey, Monty. Chris was talking about Devin's personality a little bit. He called him basically a killer who, you know, when you guys are up late in the game and it's going to be time to run clock, he wants to go score again. And, you know, guys you've played with and coached, are all the great players killers, or are there guys who maybe don't have the mentality who are still greats?
So, I mean, I don't know. I've played with guys who had that. Allen was like that. Allen Iverson. He was going to keep coming no matter what. Tracy was like that. Book's his own guy, though. You know, he's just not afraid of, you know, making plays. And people forget how young he is. You know, he's done a lot, but he's really young. And so I think those two are a good team because they know how to talk to each other in those situations. And I think Chris is a good calming force for Book in those situations. And I think Book trusts Chris. So anything Chris tells him, he respects it.
Kent right here.
Monty, you and your players talk a lot about the gym. The gym is almost not a physical place, but a state of mind. What goes into that, and how have you seen that created in the last couple of years?
I mean, I think it's the DNA of our team. Our guys love the gym. It certainly was an answer to prayer for me when I was not a head coach. I prayed that if I ever got a chance to do it again, I'd get a chance to be a part of a job that I was excited to go to work every single day. And having a gym like ours makes you that way. We've said that we weren't going to let wins or losses dictate the atmosphere in our gym. And our guys come to work every day, whether it's a film session or practice or just getting up shots. We try to keep the same consistent level of joy, but also balance it with focus and work. And it has helped to have the kinds of guys we have, guys like Mikal that you have to kick out of the gym, Cam Johnson, you know, those guys would stay there all day. Javon is another guy. That's about it. I think our guys they love being in the gym.
Again in the front.
Hey, Monty. A big talking point during this postseason run has been the youth and experience of the roster, but this is your first finals coaching.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what have you learned during this postseason journey, and kind of what's been the difference the deeper you've gone into the postseason?
I don't know. I probably will have a better answer for you when it's over with. It's hard to dive into those kinds of thoughts and contemplate that stuff when you're trying to win, you know. The playoffs pose a focus challenge for you unlike anything else you're ever going to deal with, because every possession, you know, every decision has the results and the consequences are high level. And so, but that wasn't anything I didn't know. It's just different when you're in this seat and you have to make those decisions. So, but I think after this is over with, I'll probably have a better perspective on it all. But right now, I'm just so focused on trying to help our guys win games and have success.
On your right, Vince.
Hey, Monty, right here. Can you remember the last time you guys gave away a game? Because it seems like you make your free throws, you don't turn the ball over. If another team beats you, it's because they beat you, not because you necessarily gave it to them.
I don't want to think about that. So I don't. I mean, I don't have that one's. I don't know. I just know that I'm grateful for the way that we do play. And it's, a challenge when you play against a team that plays the same way. They play hard, they're physical just like us. And we've always told our guys, you have to go take it. You have to have a knockout the champ mentality. Don't leave it to the judges to go to the scorecard. That's how we approach every game. And it seems to resonate with our guys to play 48 minutes all the way through. And, I hope that helps our guys.
Palmer, to you on Zoom.
Go to Gerald Brigay with Fansided.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, up 2-0 in the series, you're going to be facing a pretty desperate Bucks team, and you guys have experience in this regard as far as, playing the Lakers with desperation, the Nuggets in Game 4, Clippers were a desperate team in Game 5. Are those experiences things that can kind of help you in this scenario, or is that more of a sort of a team-by-team matchup dependent thing?
It's probably both. Every game, every series has its own unique life, but there's certain things you can learn from each game, each series. We've always talked about being more desperate than the other team, even though we could have a lead in the series or a lead in the game. That's been part of the mentality of knock out the champ, or being desperate, or we just call it relentless. And we certainly hope we've learned from series to series. And we hope it, helps us as we are playing against a team that is really, really good.